The Stunner X from Biktrix combines the upright ride of a cruiser with a powerful mid-drive motor for tons of fun. Hey everyone, Micah here with Electrek, and today we're reviewing the Biktrix Stunner X. Let's check it out.
The Stunner X is a bit of an enigma. It fits in multiple categories. On the one hand, it is fast and powerful, with one of the highest torque electric bicycle motors on the market, but it's also a really comfortable ride for leisurely cruises, which is pretty much the definition of a laid-back cruiser bike. But then it's also got suspension and fat tires that help the bike feel at home on just about any terrain. It's almost like one of those mythical e-bikes that somehow fits everybody. But before we get too far lost in the features, let's start with the specs. That motor I mentioned is a Bafang BBS HD, a 750 watt nominally rated mid-drive motor, but that actually puts out more than 1,000 watts of peak power. It pushes the bike to a top speed of 45 km per hour or 28 miles per hour. There are 4 battery options on the Stunner X, and I've got the 48 volt and 14.5 amp hour battery here for 672 watt hours of capacity. But you can outfit the bike with up to 1,000 watt hours if you want to upgrade to one of the larger batteries. Even this smallest battery though will still net you around 30 miles or 48 kilometers of range, but the larger batteries can easily help take you even further. This big ol' step-through cruiser may look heavy, and it kind of is at 65 pounds or 29.5 kilos, but that's actually not so bad compared to a lot of fat tire e-bikes that are significantly heavier. And even though the bike is fairly large, it's easy to mount thanks to the low frame. You don't have to do stretches before swinging your leg over the included rear rack. You can pass right through the middle of the bike. Some people will call this type of step-through frame a girl's bike, but to be honest, I hate that outdated thinking. A lower swept top tube is simply easier to mount for everyone, that's it. If bike tubing being a few inches lower makes you question your manhood, you've got some deeper issues to work through. Me, I definitely like an e-bike that is easier to mount, especially for a large e-bike like this one. It's just part of what makes this bike so comfortable to use. For components, we've got a very nice suite here. A Shimano Alivio 9-speed transmission is a definite upgrade from the entry-level Shimano derailleurs we often see on budget e-bikes. The Tektro dual-piston hydraulic disc brakes on 160mm rotors provide plenty of stopping power, but you also have the option to upgrade to Magura MT5Es on 180mm rotors. And the 4-inch fat tires here combine with an RST guide front fork with 80mm of travel. Though again, you have a customization option here where you can opt instead for 3-inch street tires, which are likely better for pure commuters. I also like that there's a gear sensor installed that will cut power to the motor briefly when you shift. Ideally, you should already be doing that yourself, letting off the throttle or easing up on the pedals each time you shift gears, but I know sometimes we forget, so it's nice that the bike actually does it for you and prevents you from jamming up or breaking the chain with that powerful motor. Speaking of power, while many e-bikes can only hit their top speed of 28 miles per hour with a fully charged battery, the Biktrix Stunner X can still do it with under a half-charged battery, showing just how much more power it has on tap than you might realize at first. But for anyone who doesn't want all of that power or speed, you can easily limit the bike's speed via the display, taking advantage of the high torque of the motor for hill climbing without being forced into eye-watering fast speeds. One of the things I find so interesting about the Stunner X is how it really seems to blur the line between different categories of e-bikes. There are plenty of high-performance e-bikes out there, but most e-bikes are either built for comfort or they're built for speed, not both. The Stunner X is definitely built for both. It's a classic cruiser with a comfortable, wide saddle and an upright seating position that feels great for slow cruising, but it also has the power and speed to rocket you around if you want. While it does have a throttle, you can also stick to the 5 different pedal assist levels if you want more of a workout. I mostly use level 2 or 3 for good honest pedaling, but would sometimes put it in level 5 for that extra speed. And of course you can rely on the throttle if you just want to cruise around carefree. At $2,499, the Biktrix Stunner X is definitely a bit more expensive than many other fat tire e-bikes in the budget categories, but it also offers you more. You get more power, nicer quality components that are going to last longer, and a more accessible bike that is equally more capable. I definitely feel like the Stunner X earns its higher price tag by offering those better components and a type of ride that is hard to find, even with the myriad of e-bikes on the market today.
Thanks for watching, everyone. We hope you enjoyed that review of the Stunner X from Biktrix. If you did, why don't you give this video a thumbs up? And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any of our future electric vehicle videos. We'll see you here next time.